Thank you, everybody, for coming out here to Nashville, Tennessee. My wife Maria is here with me, and we welcome you to our great state, to this great city. And Spencer and Abby Cox have become friends of ours over the last few years as we've taken on this job of being governors and first ladies. And I'll just have to say, I'm so grateful for Spencer Cox and for his heart, number one, for his willingness to take on a leadership role at NGA, which is a big enough challenge itself, besides the job that he has to do in Utah. But this Disagree Better initiative that is really his effort. I have long believed that we should understand how to live, especially in a political world, how to live with differences of opinion in ways better than we do now. And I know that's or better than we see exhibited across the spectrum in this country today. This is a toxic political environment that we live in, and it's divisive, and it is. I remember when I first ran for office, I actually had a television commercial that talked about everything that was wrong with politics. And I hope that today, what we're going to talk about is everything that is right about politics, or how it can be better anyway. Particularly, not just disagreeing on the political scale, but disagreeing with our family members, disagreeing with our friends, and understanding that in fact can create deeper and richer relationships and understanding with people if we do it right. But Spencer has created this initiative and pulled together really thoughtful, brilliant minds to talk about that throughout this conference. So I'm grateful that he's doing that, grateful to be able to host here in Tennessee. We hope you have a great time while you're here. You're in one of the most vibrant cities in all of America. There are tower cranes everywhere for a reason. People are moving here in record numbers. We are one of the top moved to states in the country, as you know. I'll brag about Tennessee just a minute, as any governor would when he stands up. But you're in the center of what Jamie Dimon said last week when he reeled off cities that are changing the world today and that are competing for standing in the world stage, and reeled off Nashville and Seoul and international cities. Oracle just announced that they're moving their world headquarters to downtown Nashville, which was a very substantial and significant announcement on top of Amazon's decision to be here and the existing healthcare mecca center that we have become. We are a place where we're one of two states in the country that has 4 OEMs for automobile manufacturing, and now the research and development is starting to come our way. So our state is a super low tax state, super low debt state, very business friendly, and it's really beginning to pay off. We are in a mode of thinking about how we stay ahead of what's happening to us as a state in a good way. Because at the end of the day, I tell people that we can talk about statistics, poverty level falling below the national average for the first time in our history. One of my personal favorites, recidivism numbers at a historical low for our state. I got involved in part to running for governor. I got involved in part because of my interest in criminal justice reform and my work in reentry work. So we have statistics that we can spiel off about what's happening in our state, as you can in yours. At the end of the day, what that's all about is how do we make life better for every person that lives in Tennessee? How do we create an environment? Government can't solve the problems of our day. The government is not the answer. But we do have an opportunity and a responsibility to create an environment for the people to thrive and for there to be access to opportunity, that they can that they can take hold of and have a better life for themselves and for their family. And when we can increase that access, then it's likely that they will increase grabbing hold of that opportunity. So we're proud of our state, but we're especially proud that you are here. I'll tell you this is the last statistics. We are the state who has the fastest rate of growth of tourism in any state in the country. You are, if you're not from Tennessee and you're here visiting, along with, what did you say, 5,000 car wash guys across the days? Who are probably making a whole lot more money than any of us did in our businesses, I can tell you that. We love car wash guys. We love anybody who wants to bring their conventions to Nashville, but you join a lot of folks who will put on boots and go down to Broadway and listen to some of the best bar music in the world because they all come here hoping that they'll go out there as a star, and many of them do. So enjoy yourself while you're here. We're really pleased that you're in what we think is one of the coolest cities in the best state in the country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's great to see all of you here today. We've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I'm glad it's finally here. We love Nashville, we love Tennessee, and we're so grateful to Governor Lee and the First Lady and his team who have been so generous in welcoming us here. Thanks to those of you who have traveled far distances to be with us at our fourth convening, and our next to last convening will be finishing up in Salt Lake City in a couple months. I want to thank Governor Lee, first of all, for his words about this great state. We're big fans of Tennessee and what's happening here. If you look at all of the data, you'll find Utah and Tennessee are always in the top 3 or top 5 when it comes to economic growth and good things that are happening and just growth in general. And he's doing it the right way. And so we love that. We appreciate that. I will tell you, one of my favorite things about traveling as part of the NGA and traveling to different states is that I get to spend a little time and talk to people about their governor. And Governor Lee, you'll be happy to know that I've had lots of conversations, and people love this state and they love their governor. We had a waiter named Mike in particular, whom you know. He worked at another restaurant before. He said, Governor was always so kind and he knew me, and I ran into him, I think it was at Walmart, and he said hi to me, and my friends couldn't believe that he knew who I was. And that speaks to the caliber of human being that you are. But as far as this initiative is concerned, I've been such a fan of Governor Lee and watching him. Some of you may not know that he is the chair of the Republican Governors Association, which is a much more partisan position than chair of the National Governors Association. And yet he navigates that with such grace, and his ability to bring people together and look to solve problems is something that I've been very proud of. Now, many people in their criticisms of Disagree Better have said, well, you're just trying to make us to go along to get along. You just want us to agree with the other side, whatever that is. And I like to remind them that it's the exact opposite of that. We want people to stay true to their principles. We want people to be very serious about what they believe. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. And when we attack ideas and not people, when we understand that we are living in a pluralistic nation and that disagreement was foundational to the formation of our country and foundational to the institutions that were put in place to help us govern, especially when we disagree. That was the whole idea, not that these institutions would make us all agree, but that we would have a forum to disagree and have healthy conflict, which is what we're working towards, and Governor Lee has certainly personified that. So I want to also just thank all of the remarkable organizations that are represented here. We're grateful for what you've taught us. One of the best parts of this journey over the past year has been finding the great people who are doing this work. And I'm sometimes embarrassed that will be interviewed for a national news from the national news media talking about this as if it's something new, when you have all been toiling for years to make our country a better place. And part of what we want to do and what we're trying to do is elevate you. That's why we're having these gatherings, so that more people can see what you're doing, to give you a platform as we send these videos out from today to governors and their teams all across the country, and empower you, hopefully get you more funding and the things that you need to keep doing the work you're doing. We know that this initiative will end in July, and as you know, we turn into pumpkins, you keep going, and we want to make sure that the work you're doing will go on for years to come, and that you'll be more successful. So, as I mentioned, in a few months we'll wrap up the Disagree Better initiative, but we look to the dozens of governors who have supported this initiative. We're grateful to all of them. You might ask them to connect you with their public education systems or universities. We want to help you work with them, to suggest faith communities you might work with, even ask the governors to highlight events that you're organizing, and they're willing to do it. So let us be a conduit for you. The theme for our conversation today is building dialogue skills and fostering positive contact. As with all of our convenings, our goal is to learn about the interventions in this category that have a basis in evidence of reducing partisan animosity, and how governors like Governor Lee and I can help with that work.